So I've done digital marketing for a while, yeah, and working with brands across different industries, running different campaigns have taught me certain things. One of it is the hours of digital marketing. I realized that these are like the key underlying factors or principles that can make or break your marketing strategy. So when editing and when executing a particular strategy, I'm always paying attention to reach, paying attention to relevance, and also reputation. In this video, I want to talk about the areas of digital marketing. I want to talk about what reach is. I wanted to teach you the things that affect relevance, the things that affect the relevance of your brand or your product or your content, and reputation, the things that reputation influences or affects for your brand and for your marketing strategy. So stay with me. We're going to be talking about the areas of digital marketing. Hey guys, thank you for staying to watch this video. My name is Itimi. I create brand marketing and inspirational content every week on YouTube. If you're yet to subscribe, please click on the button below to subscribe and also turn on the bell notification button. Let's do this video. So in introduction, I said we're going to be talking about the areas of digital marketing. Now the first one is reach. Now for me, reach is just really about the places that you want to be and you want to be able to reach your target audience, which is your platforms/channels. Yeah. Don't mind my writing. It's the places where you want to have a presence in, the channels that you want to use in actually passing across your message, the places where you want to activate your brand and actually engage and interact with your target market. Knowing the channels and platforms that you want to use for your digital marketing or your marketing strategy as a whole is very important. You want to know where your target audience is, how they talk on those places, what time they spend on those places, and how you can effectively use the right kind of content that actually fit those channels and then being able to reach the people you want to reach. The thing about reach is it's like the most basic and the first step in everything. Once you know your target audience, the next question is, how do I reach my target audience? Where are they? And how can I be in those places too so they can also see me? It's very important that you choose the right platforms that is very contextual to your brand and that you're very sure that your target audience actually have presence there and they can find it very easy to interact with your brand. If you miss the channels and platforms for your brand, you will not have as much impact as you want to do that because, I mean, you already got the platform very wrong. The next part of it is relevance. Now, once you identify the platforms and channels that you want to use for your marketing strategy, the next thing is, how can I achieve relevance? How can I make sure that what I'm doing is relevant to my target audience? How do I make sure that they know me and they want to actually interact with me? There are three key things that I think affect relevance. The first one is targeting. Then we have the messaging. And then lastly, we have timing. Content plus context. So relevance is a function of three things. Targeting. So it's one thing to know your target audience, right? It's another thing to be able to accurately and effectively target them on social media. It's not enough to know your target market buyer persona, their interests and stuff. The next thing you want to do is whenever you're actually putting out content, you want to make sure that you're actually targeting them the right way, making sure that the data I have of these people are not just data that ends in our boardroom or in our brainstorming meetings, but I'm able to actually use them on social media platforms, all the digital marketing platforms are using, targeting their age, their interests, their hobbies, their gender, target them so that the people who get your message are exactly the kind of people that you know need your product, need your service, or actually want to interact with your brand. And then, of course, there's messaging part of it. What are you actually saying to these people and how are you saying that thing? Are you telling stories or are you just selling? Messaging is very important, making sure that your message is very contextual to your target audience and also very contextual to your brand. So when it comes to messaging, it's not always about just the content format. Am I doing a video? Am I doing audio? Am I doing images, GIF, infographics? It's not about the It's not just about the content format or the content type. Am I trying to do something that's trending, on evergreen content that will, you know, stay for a long period of time and will be relevant over a long period of time. It's also about context, and context again is going to be a function of knowing your target audience, knowing what they want to hear, how they want to hear, the tone in which they want to hear it, and then putting your content in the right context. So when they see your message, they're like, oh yeah, this is definitely for me, or this definitely addresses my pain point. The third factor that affects relevance is timing, right? It's also very important to know seasonalities and know timings and know when your target audience are going to be available online or going to be available offline to attend the event or to interact with your brand, so that you're not just putting out messaging, key message with good content and good context. You're not just targeting people, but then when it's time for you to push out the content, nobody is actually there to actually see the content because your timing is wrong. So when you're trying to achieve relevance, you're thinking about timing, you're thinking about seasonality as a whole, you're thinking about what's currently trending at that time. You're also thinking about, are these people going to be online or available offline at that particular time to actually consume this content? You're thinking about messaging, the kind of content I'm creating, the format of the content, the type of the content, and what context am I putting it so they feel like they can totally relate to it and it addresses their pain points. And you're making sure that you're actually targeting the right people online, not just knowing or having their data, but using their data to accurately target them, and of course on the right channels. And the last part of it for me is reputation. Reputation is all about consistency. Reputation is all about doing it over and over and over and over and over again. Now, reputation affects two things. So when I talked about relevance, there are three things that affect relevance. But in reputation, there are two key things I think that reputation actually does for you. The first one is it gives you TOMA, which is top of the mind awareness. Oh my God, am I writing? Right, it gives you TOMA, which is top of mind awareness. And what TOMA does is that it enhances your brand equity. Brand. So I did a video on brand equity. You should probably just go and watch it. But reputation is consistency. It's making sure that what you're giving to people, the right messenger, the right time, into the right target audience on the right platform is done consistently over a long period of time. You're doing it repeatedly so people can know about your brand, so people can remember your brand. There's so much content that people are consuming every single minute on social media, every single minute online, read everywhere. There's so much information. The only way that your brand is going to stand out is if people keep seeing you over and over and over and over and over again till they can say, oh yes, I really know this brand. And it's not just about achieving brand awareness, which means that they know your brand. It's also achieving top of mind awareness. I want to be so good and I want to do stuff so well over and over and over and over again, consistently, repeatedly over a long period of time. So when people are thinking about a brand in a certain niche or a product in a certain niche, they think about my own brand or my own product first. And that's what TOMA is. TOMA is not just, you know that this brand exists, but if you have a particular problem or you need a particular solution, or a conversation comes in and you're thinking about a particular category or niche of product or people, you think about one person first or one brand, and that's top of mind awareness. And what top of mind awareness then gives you is increased brand equity. Brand equity is one of the reasons why people will pick one brand over another brand, right? Just because they have a lot of sentiment and they feel like this brand is more credible, more authentic, and it's more popular, it's more well-known, and more people will actually go through it. And it's just like a cycle. If you are very consistent, you're going to be able to achieve top of mind awareness over time. And if you can achieve top of mind awareness, that will positively affect your brand equity, which means that you're actually going to be spending more marketing dollars and getting more users or more people using your product or more clients because they already have a certain perception that is very awesome for your brand. So again, I'll just do a recap. Of course, you want to first of all know who your target audience is and where they are. Know the platforms that will be most important for your brand. Then you want to be able to achieve relevance on those platforms, right? It's not just knowing the platforms and checking out certain marketing channels, but saying how can I make sure that what I'm putting on those channels are super relevant. And what affects relevance? Your target and how you target these people that you know, your messaging, the content and the context, and of course the timing. What's trending, what are they currently available to consume that content, what's the season that we are, and how can we contextualize to that season. And then lastly, repetition, not just achieving relevance every once in a while, but achieving relevance repeatedly over a long period of time, which would then give me top of mind awareness and increase my brand equity at the end of the day. So that's it, guys. We just talked about the areas of digital marketing. I hope you learned something from this video. If you have any questions, comment down below. I'll be available to answer all your questions. Also, make sure you like, make sure you share, and if you've not done it already, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Peace out.